What up, gamers? Fencer here, and welcome back to Frontline 2 Exilium. So yeah, let's continue the story here for Third Little Wonderland. Here we go. Let's see where, what craziness are we gonna experience next? Okay, a flashbang. Hey, the light is too dazzling for my drowsy brain. It awakens me, but also intensifies my pain, or the pain in my head. You're awake at last. Hey, you're finally awake. I open my eyes and see Florence before me, looking at me with a concerned expression on her face. This scene feels very familiar. Unfortunately, I have a splitting headache and I still remember what she did just now, so I can't bring myself to be as close to her as I was just now. The procedure was very successful, but complete recovery will take time. Procedure? Like what? A surgical procedure? There's a scalpel on the table beside the slab, along with a slew of medical devices whose purpose completely eludes me. I have a pretty good idea of what Florence did while I was unconscious. I tried moving my body, and fortunately, everything seems to be working fine. What did you do to me? What else could I do? I'm a medical doll. All I do is provide treatment. Also, I made sure to hold myself back even when looking at your sleepy face, Commander. Or, are you saying you wanted me to do something to you, Commander? The headache flares. No. Speaking of which, what exactly did I need treatment for anyway? It's true that she's been giving me plenty of treatment since I came here. First, it was feeding me medication, then jabbing me. Now it's full-on surgery, and she's even treating it like some kind of reward. It was to fix your brain problems, of course. At the very least, I had to make you remember me, Commander. She laughs and draws closer to me, radiating goodwill. For a moment, I'm brought back to when I first met her, and all the cruel things she did seem utterly unrelated to her. Well, did you have a dream? Sort of. I rub my temples, and the piercing pain banishes the fog in my brain for a while, allowing me to instantly recall what I saw in my dream. I saw a rundown amusement park, and that stamp book, this stamp book, the one I'm holding now, it was all tattered and filthy. Oh, then you did dream of me, Commander. You were moaning my name the whole time. So wait, now is it a dream? You think it's a dream? It's just like the dream felt so specific. So like, with dreams, like I know they're supposed to be, based on memories. Maybe that's why we saw Ada as someone else. I'm not sure about the other characters that we saw, if we saw them before. Like, I don't know if because I think they used one too back in that, what was her name again? Like the Chohao event? I think that one girl that ran away, I don't know if they reused that, if there was a model associated with that. I remember something with like, maybe one of those models, maybe. But yeah, it could be that. Maybe that explains why they reused Ada's character model and just like renamed her. I don't know, we'll see. Moaning, you're making that up, aren't you? I think back on what I saw. That vision was incomparably real and complete compared to all the previous times, but soon the brain fog rolls back in, and try as I might, I just can't recall the memory in its entirety. Oh, I was just asking. After all, I would feel terribly alone if only I remembered you while you don't remember me. I look around. There are medical devices everywhere in the room, but rather than a clinic, all these mysterious chemicals and experimental equipment lining the walls make it look more like a lab. Meanwhile, the area cordoned off by several sheets of white cloth, and on the other side of the room ought to be a makeshift recovery ward. I can vaguely make out the shapes of patient beds there. What are you looking at? I don't know if she's worried that I found something, but Florence suddenly thrusts her face into mine and blocks my line of sight. Where is this place? I decide to not ask about the cordon area directly and inquire about something else instead. This doesn't look like in the amusement park, and there are no other guests here. It's the manager's private clinic, of course. One of those so-called employees only, no visitors allowed areas. Okay, so I guess we're still maybe in the amusement park if we're like if she's still talking about the manager stuff, like we're not in a dream, I assume. Ah, so it was your room. Yep, so if there's anything you want to do with me here, this is the perfect place for it, you know? A perfect place? Absolutely nobody's going to find us here. She fixes me with an earnest gaze, like she's trying to send some kind of message to me. I like how like the commander's like, you know, I gotta stay strong against this flirty girl, giving me all these messages. What could she be possibly be getting at? No, yeah, the commander's mine. All right, it's just survive in this uh in this terrible world. He doesn't have time for like getting into romantic relationships. I'll pass. When does the next round start? After thinking briefly, I decide to head to the next attraction instead. I need to learn more through playing the game, so hanging around here won't help. Won't you stay a little longer? It's been so long since we shared a lovey-dovey world for two. You're in such a hurry to leave right after completing your surgery. Take care of your body, okay? Definitely not. Looks like you're more anxious than me, Commander. Okay, so yeah, we are still in the amusement park. A massive steel structure looms silently before us. Its metal rails flow smoothly and aesthetically, incorporating steep drops, hard turns, and dizzying spirals, and even a 90-degree direct downward descent. It gleams with a metallic sheen in sunlight, resembling nothing so much as a tangle of barbed wire. Even the launch mechanism is designed to look like some vast, ferocious beast with its distinct and sharp angles. It's not hard to imagine what kind of sound its engine will make. Ta-da! Commander, come look! This is our most exciting attraction, the Heartbeat Accelerator 9001. Alright, the next iteration for this ride. Granted, it looks quite impressive, but in the end, it's just a roller coaster. And the most important thing is that it looks completely the same as the Heartbeat Accelerator 9000 that we rode the first event. I'm sure there's some changes with the one being added. Have we been on this one before? I waved my stamp book at Florence. Wouldn't it be best to move on to another attraction to clear all the stages quickly and claim the grand prize ASAP? Huh? What are you talking about, Commander? We haven't gone on this one yet. You mustn't clear the stages out of order, you know? Florence looks at me in surprise, like I just said something strange. What do you mean haven't gone on this one yet? Do you really think adding +1 to the number makes it a brand new ride? I look around, trying to see if anyone else around me agrees. Quite the opposite. In fact, all the guests here look at me like I grew a second head. What's this guy talking about? We only just arrived at the park, didn't we? Oh. Esma, how many times have we gone on this ride now? Okay, this is weird. What the heck? I thought she died back at the place. We saw her corpse, right? At least in text. This ought to be our first time here, right? What are you talking about? We only just came here. No, this definitely isn't our first time here. Or like, I'm just wondering, is this a flashback? Because you know the background like change in tint color, like it's a bit more warmer. What's going on? I mean, surely it's no big deal if she's already ridden the roller coaster before, right? Was that a flashback or was that like the present? Upon seeing the confused look in my face, Florence approaches and speaks quietly to soothe me, but it is nothing to relieve my unease. I mean, surely it's no big deal if she's already ridden the roller coaster before, right? If you enjoyed the ride, then going on it several more times surely wouldn't be an issue. Okay, I think this is a flashback. I think we're just looking at flashbacks when it tints to this. I thought for some reason like we're like in a loop now. I mean, yeah, this whole setting is already confusing to me, so I'm like trying to make sense of things, even if it doesn't make sense. Oh yes, you've ridden it with me a number of times. Don't you usually go on it with me several times, Commander? Florence's smile is as warm as ever, but right now, it seems utterly alien. She's saying what I said, but clearly she remembers what's going on, but she's pretending that this is our first time on this ride. What's Florence's game here? Now then, take your seat, Commander, hurry! The guests present don't seem to have realized they've gone on the ride already. They excitedly board the roller coaster like it's their first time. Dubious, I follow suit. Now then, your seat is here, Commander. Even my place is the exact same as before. I look around, and the others are in practically the same seats as the first time around. Meanwhile, the seats of the people who vanish are naturally empty. Okay, so yeah, that was definitely a flashback, because, the ones that vanished, they're not here anymore. Suddenly, my thoughts are interrupted by an abrupt glare. Pauline is looking at me. Oh, Commander, what a coincidence. There just so happens to be an empty seat beside you. Sorry, Florence. As Florence prepares to sit down beside me like before, I get up right before she takes her seat and walk over to the woman looking at me as Florence watches in shock. Not going to sit beside Miss Manager? We don't have much time, so I'll skip that for now. I look at Florence, who is also looking at me. I can't tell what she's thinking from her gaze. I thought she dragged you off for punishment. I didn't expect to see you again. Pauline's words confirm my guess. Let's get to the point. I don't do pleasantries. We take our seats and do up our safety belts. I deliberately avoid Florence's gaze. I finished this ride once before, but the others seem to have forgotten about this. Is that all? What else should there be? Mia found about this too, and things didn't end well for her. Looks like you know more than I do. You even remember what happened to Mia. However, Mia went crazy after learning too much and self-destructed. This is clearly not the case for Pauline. Why are you alright? Are you that eager for me to die? I mean, I just want to soak up some experience for protecting myself. Pauline suddenly smiles, her gaze drifting to the top of the roller coaster in the distance. Don't worry too much. I've been on this roller coaster about a dozen times, and I'm still sitting here perfectly fine. A dozen times? So she didn't die, but she didn't get the full clear prize, and she hasn't left the park all this time? Well, I don't know the exact number, but I don't remember anything from more than a dozen loops ago. Loops? You think with the Heartbeat Accelerator 9000, you think like at the beginning that was the 9000 loop? I thought, they would just add the 9000 just because, that's what they normally put in like those, like whenever they invent something, or like whenever they have like a product. Like in Harry Potter, they got that one, like, that broom, that Thunderbolt 2000. I forgot the exact name. Okay, so now it's making me think about loops now. The thing is, but with the loops though, like, not the time resets, but I guess maybe the game itself resets. Like, I guess the people are not going to be reset since they're not here. Anyways, it is as though she can sense my confusion because she speaks in a cool, calm manner, like she's talking about the weather. Go on. One day, during a certain reward time, I began to recall what happened before I came to this park. I slowly realized what was going on. I'm not the only one. Many people have begun waking up too. What? So does that medicine really fix the brain? After suspecting Florence for so long, I am suddenly at loss for words. Was she really just giving us medical care? And is this looping amusement park just a psychiatric ward for treating mental patients? Then why is it that everyone, including myself, or myself included, has fuzzy memories? And that was when the real nightmare started. Pauline seems to have anticipated my reply because she continues. We began going on the rides in order to chase these brief moments of lucidity, and as a result, we began actively playing the game. That's when the stakes for the attractions began going up, when lives began to be lost. Do you not want to leave this place? Pauline shakes her head. It's not that we don't want to, but we can't. Haven't you realized it yet? There's no way out. What's really strange is that the exit seems to have vanished after you came here. I can kind of guess of how she did it. Probably another form of drug. As you can see, that manager is very good at this sort of thing. The drugs damage our brains, making us see something that isn't really there, and keeping us from finding the way back. Yeah, I can see that, because, you kind of saw the amusement park being all, run down. I thought about that too, where somehow the brain, like whatever she gave us, is making us see it, this amusement park, like in a, in a lively way. When you refuse to play, you won't get your reward, then your memories become hazy, which makes it even harder to find your way back, or even to remember why you need to escape in the first place. But even after playing for so long, I've never been able to truly find a way out of here. That's the other reason why we can't escape. The reward is like a drug, which eases Pauline and the other symptoms, but it also makes them dependent on this place. That is interesting. So like their brain becomes hazy, right, if they don't take the reward? I'm just wondering if, like, this is like a like they're trying to misdirect us, where actually Florence is trying to save us, which, I feel like that's got to be the case in some way, because so far the dolls that we have played as are like good guys. I don't think there's been like a bad guy doll. Like with Florence over here, she's probably the closest one to a villain, as a playable villain. But at the same time, this could be a way for us to, like, maybe she's actually trying to protect us. Like, I don't know if, like, with Mia. Actually, I don't even know, man. I was about to say, maybe with Mia, she didn't really die. Like, maybe she's actually cured. Because, yeah, maybe right now we're sick. And, like, this is the only way that Florence can, maintain us to be in a healthy way. And maybe Mia was cured, like, once she realized what's going on and stuff. I could be wrong in that. I'm just trying to still make sense of this very confusing setting. And, things are starting to be put together with, like, what Pauline is talking about here. But yeah, I mean, we'll see, man. We'll see. That's what I think right now. Maybe Florence is trying to maintain us. And then when you become like Mia, maybe that's when you're cured or whatever. But, like, what I'm kind of, like, confused about is, like, the bodies that we saw with, like, and then we saw, like, the bodies of, Esma and the other girl that was trying to find a drug in the cabin here. Now, Florence's drugs, syringes, and that procedure of hers come to mind again. Is this why you're remaining here even after learning all this information? Not entirely. I know how this park works, but I also know that I deserve to be here for what I've done. Pauline mutters quietly, then smiles again. Is it related to your job? If I'm not wrong, you're all truckers from Mongi Security. I can't say. Still clinging to your NDA at a time like this? Well, just think of me as a resident here. Once I've turned the unusual into my new normal, that means I've been completely tamed by this park. All I can tell you is that the clear prizes or whatnot is a lie. The moment you come here and the main gate vanishes behind you, you will never be able to leave this place. As for that manager, I should have realized it earlier. She's the one controlling the poison and medicine both. She's just using them to make us dance in the palm of her hand. There's no way we could leave, or no way she'd ever cure us. If you don't believe me, check the stamp book you're holding. I take out the book, and the riffles its pages, flipping page after page, but the contents are all indistinct. I can't see the right names or the requirements for collecting the stamps, and most importantly, there's no end to the pages. They keep flipping and flipping endlessly. What's going on here? Just like how the main gates vanish at the start, I would have sworn I was seeing things if I hadn't been certain that my mind was clear. Or perhaps that was an illusion, but in that case, where is the line between reality and illusion in this place? So if all this is a lie, then why are we trapped here? There's no point to all this. Who knows, perhaps it's just because it's fun? I look where Pauline is looking. Florence is smiling sadistically as she starts the roller coaster up. Why are you telling me this? Even the most exciting game becomes boring after it turns into a routine. I'm just tired. In the next moment, we are plunged into the pitch-black tunnel. I hear the same sounds of flesh tearing like before, and air once again turns damp and sickly sweet. Drip, drip. Drip, 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 drip. Do you think Pauline, went out there? Because, it kind of sounds like she's, like, giving up. That might be like, maybe she purposely went out like that. The wind is still howling, but I can hear droplets of liquid splashing on the ground. Pauline! I knew it. I think she had enough. I knew it. All I can see now is a shredded, severed limb, but I can tell who it belongs to. Even after being ripped to pieces, Pauline didn't scream, didn't even make a sound. Commander, maybe you should take care of yourself before worrying about her? Man, I'm so confused, dude. That's such a wild thing to say as well. Florence has moved up to me without me noticing, a cheerful smile on her face. Behind her, the girl-soaked costume clowns are capering around and playing with the brightly colored balloons. You don't have to worry about that. Okay. Oh yeah, it's a very interesting story, but also very confusing. It kind of reminds me of like the second part of that one event with Perry and Springfield, where like I'm just like wondering what's going on, because there's something definitely is going on. This one here though is like it's beginning to be weird like right away, and not like in the second half of this whole story. So yeah, like I think it's very interesting, man. Like I'm just really just having fun trying to figure out like what's going on. Now then, congratulations to our players for completing a course of the Heartbeat Accelerator 9001. As the people around me celebrate their survival, I welcome directly to Florence. We need to talk. Oh, so eager, Commander. But unfortunately, there are no special prizes for this time around. There's nothing else I can do. In contrast to her usual antics, Florence turns and makes to leave. Dropping the act now. I open up the stamp book and throw it in front of her. Ooh, here we go. Look at us being rebellious. How many more secrets does this amusement park hold? I take a big step forward, past Florence, and block her path. Going on rides over and over again, losing our memories, never getting the clear prize. This endless game is nothing but a scam. And people have died for this lame scam. Forceful, aren't you, Commander? That just excites me even more. Answer my question. However, the world fades into a blur before my eyes. Yeah, I can see that right now. Oh, what a shame. I haven't gotten this hot and bothered in a while, but you folded so quickly. What did you do? This is just because you were too hasty, no? After all, you did just undergo a medical procedure and haven't finished recovering yet. You shouldn't have gone on such an exciting ride in your current state. Florence reaches a hand out and waves it in front of me. See? You can't see anything anymore. Is that so? My vision steadily returns, but by the time it resolves into clarity, the scene before me is completely different. Are we gonna see that rundown amusement park now? Here it is. And just like the illusion from before, I'm seeing that ruined amusement park again. This time, however, every detail is rendered in incredibly clarity, to the point where it doesn't seem like an illusion at all. That's right, this is the place. I remember everything now. Huh, so it really is an amusement park. Are those people and the black currants all hidden here? The black currants? Okay, I don't know anything about that. Okay, I think now we're about to get the real, like, reason on like what's been going on. Here we go. Oh, here we go. Dear Commander, guess who I am? Oh, is this the letter that we talked about before that we got from her? We're back on the Elmo now. Alright, here we go, man. I'm excited now. This way of speaking. Don't tell me it's... Who let this junk mail pass the filters again? Wait, don't delete me so soon, Commander. This time, it's really important. It's different from all the other previous commissions. A shipment of goods from Manga Security went missing, along with the personnel accompanying it. Can't they handle it by themselves? Since when did they need a bounty hunter like me to wipe their butts? I'm not interested in dirtying my hands with their affairs. You're probably gonna say no, but hold on. Leaving aside the payment for the commission, I promise that finding them before Mangi security does has only upsides for you. Oh? I have to admit, this is quite appealing, and if I'm not wrong, the shipment probably contains something of great interest to me. I've already sent the location and important files over. Oh yes, this mission is a little special, so don't bring your dolls along. After all, we haven't seen each other in a while, so let's keep this nice and intimate, shall we? In any case, I'll definitely take the responsibility and keep you safe, Commander. Plus, the payment is blah 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 blah. You know? Of course, and the most important thing is the extra bonus payment, namely my. What the heck kind of scam did she get me caught up in? Did she get caught up in? While I know exactly who made this commission, it still looks like some kind of new scam. Unable to bear it any longer, I immediately closed the mail. The rest of it is probably some meaningless drivel. Then, I opened the attachment to see what files the client sent. In addition to the coordinates of my destination is a photograph. Huh, so it really is an amusement park. It's just what I said. Are those people in the Black Prince all hidden here? Oh, that was it? That was so fast. Wow. Really short. Okay. Yeah, those were the two lines that we said. It is the sound of footsteps, or to be precise, the sound of 10 odd people walking together through this deserted wasteland. Clearly, they have been here for far too long. Their clothes are tattered rags, and their frames are, emaciated? Their eyes are sunken and hollow, and their rags are stained in blood. Some of their wounds have scabbed over, others are oozing pus, and there's even one who can't walk, their wheelchair squeaking as they roll along. This so-called amusement park is nothing more than a set of long-abandoned ruins. It's only barely recognizable as having once been an amusement park. While it's hard to recognize them, there's no doubt that these sleepwalkers amidst the ruins are visitors to this amusement park. Like ghosts, they've forgotten their past and are forever trapped here. Okay, so now, are we now back in the present? I thought maybe we'll be seeing like the, we're like going in chronological order now. But I think we're back in the present where we're seeing the other visitors like they're sleepwalking. I found it at last. Dear guests, thank you for waiting. And now, our next attraction, Sweet Startling Night. Florence, infectiously, enthusiastic voice spreads through the air, and these aimless wanderers look as if they received some kind of command, because they've all slowly gathered in the building behind Florence. It is the building that is neither scary nor filled with the park spirit. All it has are discolored walls and a metal plaque above its entrance that look like it's going to fall off at any moment. Meanwhile, Florence is happily explaining the building while these guests who are prepared to enter it eagerly play with the park's attractions. Over and over again, the ride never ends. Now then, since time is tight, let's hurry up and... I'm out. Huh? Countless vacant eyes turn to look at me, just like they did to Mia when she tried to stop the other guests from boarding the roller coaster. Meanwhile, these guests come to a halt as well. I can hear them whispering to each other. Well, there's nothing for it. You do realize that even if it's you, you'll have to be punished for interfering with the games, right, Commander? Well, I feel like now we have the advantage of like seeing the real world now, so I'm guessing we can see the exit as well. I wonder if people see me leave, maybe they will also try to wake up more and see the real world because they might suspect like something is wrong here. Like maybe how did the commander escape if he found the exit? As Florence says this, she gives me a meaningful look. I believe I understand what she's trying to tell me. Keep talking. Oh. Okay, so we're trying to make it maybe natural in a way. I don't know what's going on here. You know, I just thought of something very interesting all of a sudden. When you're walking on the street and see many people looking at the sky, what would you do? Look up and see what's in the sky? Even if there's nothing there, There's a subconscious peer pressure effect generated by this collective behavior that will make you think something is there. At moments like this, adding in a tiny variable can fool your brain into thinking there's actually something in the sky, even making you believe fervently in some non existent miracle. Well, that's quite interesting. As a medical doll, you should understand this phenomenon better than an amateur like me, right? I believe it's called collective hallucination. Hallucination? What does that mean? It means the entire amusement park is nothing but a man-made hallucination. To others, you probably just appeared like a bunch of lunatics riding a rust bucket amidst tumbled ruins. Alright, until just now, I was part of these lunatics, but unfortunately, nobody came. So we're all just seeing the same thing, even communicating with each other without any impediment? Is is that even possible? What do you think, Miss Medical Doll? Who knows, but perhaps I could do it? Have some faith in yourself. You already did. The critical variable in pulling off a collective hallucination might be anxiety and stress, or the rates of spread achievable in an enclosed area. You, on the other hand, probably used something that was quicker and more convenient. Drugs. This is the poison that you control. It feels like you're putting me on a trial. How exciting. You should know about Utis better than me. I just knew you were familiar with that drug too, but unfortunately, not even I could get that much Utis. After all, I'm just a frail and weak medical doll, and I definitely wouldn't be able to kidnap all these people. You probably couldn't get Utis directly, but for something else, it might be possible. If Nikita's intel is correct, okay, we had contact with Nikita too. Oh, you're right, because, she was like undercover at Manga Security, right? Manga Security was escorting a shipment of special cargo, codenamed Black Current. They have completely different names. What even is the connection between them? Mostly Black Current shipments was just ordinary canned goods, but according to the intel I received, a large portion of the cargo loads Manga Security was transporting to the contamination zones contained the contraband drug, Utis. Manga Security? What is that name? Black Current. Transport. Due to the effect of the drugs and their hallucinations, the guests don't seem quite to understand the meaning of those words, but their unconscious responses make these terms feel familiar to them. This reaction perfectly validates my guess. And as it turns out, every single guest here besides you and me just so happens to be Monkey Security transport personnel. One could say that it was them who brought a full load of blackcurrant all the way here to supply both the guests and Utis for you. And it was you who hijacked their truck right here and used the contraband they were transporting to engineer a collective hallucination, forcing them to go through one game after another. So the events that she was forcing them to roleplay and relive in that haunted house might have been the lead up to the truck hijack. I see. That's strange. Why are we here? You idiot. Where did you get your license? At this rate, we won't reach Melvi 14, even if we drive through the night. How could you even handle all those transport runs with such crappy skills? If you tried that crap in the contamination zone, they'd suit your pants off. Shut the heck up. I'm checking the routine now. Dang it, what's going on? Who changed the route, and when? Do you know how many shipments we've already lost? If we have this run up, we're all going down together. Gosh darn it, who messed with the vehicle, autonav? The route's been messed up ever since we left the warehouse. Bloody heck. Who else would touch it besides you? It's my fault. I'm sorry, I messed it up. I messed everything up. Esma? Why is it you? What are you doing here? No wonder they were so scared. After all, moving a black current shipment of that scale was not an ordinary assignment. In addition, they were already panicking from messing up the assignment, combined with the large dose of Utis you gave them. It's no wonder they became putty in your hands. Even if you're correct about your observations, there's nothing that but a sensible sounding supposition, Commander. Perhaps it was Manga Security people dipping into their own product after learning how valuable the shipment was, but then they ended up getting stuck in a heck of their own making. In other words, All this was nothing more than the result of their own greed, which coincidentally happened to turn into the collective hallucination you were talking about. That sounds quite a miracle, don't you think? What you say makes sense too, and losing the shipment might be nothing more than wordplay to evade responsibility for their actions. But that's just how lies are, to deceive others, and one must first deceive themselves. Also, the symptoms of these people don't look like those of Utis users, even if they're very close. Apart from the hallucinations and severe cognitive impairment, there are also signs of memory loss, poor awareness of time and location, visual and auditory impairment, and other major symptoms. All of these are very rare in Utis related reports. Among all of them, you are the only one with the ability to improve on Utis. Also, you aren't beholden to manga security. You possess pharmaceutical skills, and you even serve as the park manager to keep up the hallucination. Me? Commander, you seem to have forgot something. I have no reason to do all this. Florence suddenly laughs, and there's a hint of excitement in her eyes. Exasperation fills my heart. It seems she is completely lost in her role. Or rather, that's what makes me even more certain that it's you. After all, only you would do this sort of thing, right? Orchestrating all this simply and purely because it was fun, in search of a thrill. Of course, seeking thrill is my core directive, but I'm not that bad, am I? While everything she says is designed to avoid accountability for her actions, her expressions and movements are getting bolder and bolder, to the point where I suspect she's trying to provoke me. It's hard to say. Florence loves excitement and thrills, but that's not her main problem now. That's not the main problem now. In order to deal with this incident, I need to start by dealing with her. All you need to know is that I and everyone here will no longer be playing this game with you. Florence glances at the blank-eyed visitors, and then she gestures grandly, and several robots move up to surround us. Okay. Those must be the clowns, right? The Elid clowns, I guess, the robots? Is that so? What a shame, but I can't let the game end yet. You and the others will need to keep us company for a while, Commander. Yeah, how do we get out of this? Because, the Commander... Uh-oh. Let me make things a little more exciting, Commander. What a shot. Oh my. I remember these guys. It's time for your correction, Florence. You think the Commander can deal with this? Even against a doll? Are we gonna fight Florence too? There she is. Why, look at that, we fight Florence. That's pretty interesting. Alright, let's go. Auto battle. Yeah, that's very interesting. Nice. Alright, 5 more to go. Yeah, now the story is like becoming more clear. I think it's very interesting what's been going on and how she's been controlling all this. Yeah, the robots probably were those Elid clowns. But yeah, I guess the only thing that is not like... that is still in the air is like her motives. Like, yeah, now we know she's controlling us with those Utis drugs. And that's how she was able to make us like hallucinate and stuff. Alright. One guy with the shield. He's probably the boss. Not Florence. No, just kidding. Eek! I lost. I guess the Commander can do it. I assume the other people, like... I know there's supposed to be like manga security transport, right? But like, I don't know about their combat capabilities compared to the Commander here. So I'm just going to assume that the Commander did all this. Does that mean he was able to take down Florence too? I'm not sure. Florence slumps to the ground, her body contorted from the excessively difficult pose she's trying to take. She lifts her head in excitement, her cheeks flushed in a suspicious red. Congratulations on completing Thriller Wonderland, Commander. Playtime at the pretend park is over. You can stop talking like that now. Don't be so hasty, Commander. Why not finish the punishment round before claiming your grand prize? However, this time, I'm the one who will be getting punished. The robots suddenly approach me, offering mysterious devices and syringes loaded with liquids in various colors for me to choose from. I don't want to do this. I'm not Florence. What are these? I randomly pick up a syringe. I can't believe you picked that, Commander. Your boldness is so surprising. Still, it's also very exciting. Some really weird, some really weird, adult stuff going on. Alright. I immediately put the syringe back down. I pick up the stamp book. Outside the hallucination, it's nothing more than a tattered stamp book with a distinctly retro feel to it. Clearly, it came from the same era as this abandoned amusement park. There's a brand new stamp on the final page, as though to remind me that everything is over. And that was it. But we can do like one more. Yeah, we can do like one more. Yeah, we'll do like one more and that'll be it for this video. Then we'll try to finish it up next time. So, what kind of prize do you want after completing the game? Florence still seems to be immersed in her park manager role, which comes off as a little bizarre. I hand the stamp book over to her. I want you and all the people who died in the hallucination. Florence furrows her brow. She seems to be thinking. After all, this is a grand prize. Unfortunately, you can only pick one of them. You may have beaten me, but the respective hallucinations are still going on. Even if they realize it's a hallucination, they'll soon forget about it. In their eyes, the world is still a dreamlike amusement park of fantasies. There's a fine line between poison and medicine. After hearing what Pauline said, I'm wondering exactly which part of what you provided was poison and which part was medicine. And my guess is that she hasn't dosed them with the improved Utis for a long time now. Otherwise, there wouldn't be so many guests going crazy. My recovery, that was probably because of Florence's somewhat theatrical treatment. It wasn't just me, Pauline, Esma, Muriel, and the others. Everyone who claimed the reward regained some of their clarity. If all she wanted was to trap them here forever, then tending to their bodies and minds would be important, but she'd also have to top up the improved Utis. But the truth is, everyone would have steadily learned the truth during the games. Even a case like Pauline's, what's happening now is not normal. And besides, thanks to you, my head is fully clear now, and I remember exactly what kind of person you are. You were the one who treated me, right? I watched Florence's reaction as I questioned her. Treated you? The reward was just to top off your dose of the improved Utis. Still, there are always ways to recover quickly. She's clearly lying. The improved Utis acted as a poison, but after receiving their rewards, the guest's mind became clear, as though they have taken their medicine. They what? Hold on, I messed up. As though they had taken medicine. But if she really was the owner of this park and the architect of this entire scenario, then why would she need to lie about this? Truth be told, she's done far too many things that weren't strictly necessary. I see. Looks like things are as I guessed. Florence was probably treating us in secret to avoid someone's eyes, and this person is probably the mastermind behind all this. I look around and count the number of people again. Before playing Sweet Startling Light, there were 12 guests apart from Florence and me. After Esma, Muriel, and Pauline received punishment, so there should be only be 9 people left. But there's one more. Because no matter how many times I count the group, there are 10 people now. Did any new players join us? I wouldn't have been able to stay with you if there had been, right, Commander? After all, I'd have to guide the new additions around. I nod. Florence has no reason to lie about this. In that case, the only explanation is the dead coming back to life. Where are the people who died in this game? You've already seen them, Commander, albeit through a veil. She must be talking about the makeshift clinic where Florence was performing her surgery on me. She'd even blocked my line of sight back then. Are they still alive? They're mentally scarred, but otherwise fine. However, their brains still think that they're dead, even though it's just a hallucination, so they won't wake up for a long time. Well, I mean, that's better than like dying by those saws and stuff like in that one roller coaster ride. Which means they aren't really dead, is that right? Mia, Fleur, Esma, Muriel, and Pauline. After I find them, I see all 5 of them have received treatment from Florence and are slowly recovering from the symptoms. I remember that what Pauline said about people only starting to die on the rides after a certain point. Did anyone else die before this? Florence shakes her head. That narrows things down. I think I know who it is. Only one person could have done this. Oh, and that was it. Okay, that was short, but yeah. Then you think we can finish it in this video? Maybe? Nah, maybe I'll save it for next time. Because, you know, this might be long. Who knows? I don't want to, like, risk it and stuff. I want to make sure, like, each video is within a, you know, a respectable length. So yeah, next time we'll see, you know, who the mastermind behind this all is. You know, I'm not sure if I got all of it when it came to, like, things being clarified. It seems like there is another party that's, like, behind this that is not Florence. I am guessing Florence is doing this in goodness in a way, since it seems like there might be another party involved, like, you know, one extra person in the group, and that, you know, she's doing all this just to make sure she's not caught. Like, maybe she is working for someone, maybe one of the people that died, and that, you know, she has to be secret about this. Like, maybe she's trying to save us while, like, the person that's, like, looking at her, that other party, is like, she commanded her to make it look like she's working against me. I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, guys, that'll be it for now. That's game.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good